Shalom Israel, first and foremost. I do give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Regardadash. The born to the apostles, Nels Great Millstone, forward to his true peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel, Yahweh. Is the name of thine Father, Hebrew, Ba'ashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back on our lesson. As he within the title, miracles on the left hand, which is what you're getting ready to see, his devil do, and perform on left hand side, through, his technology. As you're going to see right here within this video, I'm about to get dealing with the Neuralink, which you've been seeing all the promises Elon Musk has been making, that people that are blind are able to see, people that are paralyzed, people that walk, and move and do all of these, various things. And people are, going to see the benefits in that. Especially speed fast, like it being a much more simpler, surgery than doing all these, high risk, surgeries that have a low chance of, panning out. Because you're gonna see right here this YouTuber called, Mr. Beast, which is pretty much a celebrity, is pretty much promoting it to his hundreds of millions of subscribers that he has, to his viewers. And I've said, through the spirit, which I believe I made a lesson, and other brothers, also made points, and going to how these celebrities are going to be used to promote this beast system. And I made a lesson, I'm going to say, maybe a month or two ago, going to how these streamers, which I want to say are the new celebrities, as you have a lot of the younger generation, looks up to and idolizes these streamers, wants to be and act like them, as you see. But they're going to be used to push and promote this beast system, the MOTB, the Neuralink, and all these various things. Because you have people like Kai Cenat, which is another big streamer, and he's a Jake. And to obtain fame and praise and stats on the side, there are things you got to do. You don't just get that type of attention and go without, any eyes, looking your way, for lack of better words. But you can already, see and find various videos of people, covering, Kai Cenat and these other streamers doing, satanic, symbols, hand symbols and all types of stuff. Going to show they're clearly, sold out, as you see various of these celebrities are also. But just going back to that point as a whole, they're going to be used to push and promote this beast system, which is the point I was trying to make. As you're going to see this YouTuber, Mr. Beast, pushing and promoting this Neuralink. So you're going to have a lot of people that's going to, take the bait. Because they're going to be pushing to the name of so-called security, safety, your benefit, your well-being, as with all the so-called cool things that you'll be able to do with it. Seeing holograms in front of you, able to control things, with your thoughts. As you have various videos of people that have, pretty much taken the Neuralink and other similar technology, able to move a mouse, with on a computer screen, with their mind. Pretty much able to have hacks that you see in video games, pretty much having perfect accuracy, all types of stuff. So people are going to see the so-called benefits in this. And it's like from kind of rambling, just tying this all together. So pace real quick. I got a couple scripts at that, and those will be edifying. Step right into it.
Show you guys the most futuristic technology on the planet. But next, we're going with the $10,000 technology, Neuralink, which is a computer chip surgically implanted into the brain, enabling people like Nolan here to reconnect to the world. So you were paralyzed from the neck down?
Yeah, and for about 8 years, I was trying to find some purpose in my life.
And then you got Neuralink, and what has that changed?
Anything anyone can do on a computer, I can do.
And he literally does it by using only his brain. You are currently moving that with your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I want to see you send a text with your brain.
So you see how they're kind of pushing. Look how cool this is. Look at the things he's able to do that he wasn't able to do before. And you're going to have people, jumping at that chance. Going back to the title, miracles on the left hand. But it's going to come at a price as you get throughout the scriptures. You know, there's a reason why the Lord says to not take this thing. Going to Revelation 13:16, which is, the main point going into this MOTB. And Revelation 14:9-10, goes into the consequences if you do receive and take this charagma. Death.
Okay.
His hands are paralyzed, but we're gonna film them so you can see they're not moving. And using the neurons firing in Nolan's brain, Neuralink can translate those signals into movements. He just typed hi with his mind. Is this not crazy to anyone else? But that's not all he can do. So you just think left, and you're about to turn left.
Left, right, don't die.
No!
There we go.
He absolutely crushed us playing with only his mind.
I never thought would allow me to do anything like this.
And future technology can not only help the mind, but also the body.
You guys.
But hey, there you go. It says Mr. Beast just normalized Neuralink to millions. This isn't about helping the disabled. It's about merging humans with machines and AI. This is about preparing society for the MOTB, which we're warning you, do the Spirit Prophet Al-Basham try to stay far away from. As we especially did going back, 2020, dealing with the juice, that concoction that was pushed out. Which obviously that's not the MOTV, but it's just an example, a trial run for what this devil's getting ready to do, dealing with the mandates, the restrictions, the lockdowns. You had jobs that required you to have that juice. And you had many of these unfaithful Israelites that went out and took that juice, that concoction. But this is Revelation 13:16-17, and it says, and he called over small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads. The word mark in the Greek goes to the word charagma, which then goes to the word etch, scratch, showing it's a physical mark. So it's in the right hand or in their foreheads, which is really speaking of that Neuralink. You also have other companies, creating similar things. In verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell till he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of the name. And very soon we won't be able to live a so-called normal life without it. Everything is going to be ran through this MOTB. Just as you have, for example, a universal remote. In your house, it goes into your TV, your console, all these various things. This is what this MOTB is ultimately going to be. And without it, you won't be able to do anything. So a choice will have to be made coming to these last days. So we're going to have many Israelites end up buckling that pressure, bending that knee, and taking this charagma. But, the Lord's going to give the strength, to his elect to endure these coming times, to resist temptation, to deny that charagma. Because you're especially going to see the wicked of our people line up to take this thing. You know how Jake is when it comes to the next big thing, the next new thing, the next wave, dealing with the shoes, the next iPhone, and various other examples. And with this, people seeing holograms in front of you, and even going back when Elon Musk was in the beginning stages of his Neuralink, he said you'd be able to listen to music within your brain. You had Jake all over that, saying they couldn't wait for it. They're gonna be first in line, pretty much. And when that was around, you had one of these famous rappers, Lil Uzi Vert. It was all over that, pretty much pushing and promoting it. So further to show these celebrities are gonna be used to promote these things. 2 Thessalonians 2:9 says, even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders. So you're going to have people lining up to take this thing, seeing the so-called benefits and receiving this charagma. You're not having to carry your phone anymore, your laptop. No need for a TV because you can just see it from your eyes, from your brain. And also speaking of these surgeries that people are willing to do or get, and seeing how much more safer taking the Neuralink will be, they're going to be first in line. And it's going to be a sight to see. It's going to be blocks on end. And hey, we told you so. And what's in a lot of Mr. Beast subscribers is a bunch of young children that watch his videos. So they're going to sit there and look how cool it is and the benefits and all these various things that come with it. Because if your favorite YouTuber is saying how cool it is and how amazing it is, they're going to think the same. But Matthew 24:24 says, "For there shall rise false anointed and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, and so much that if it were possible they deceive the very elect." So it's just going to show how great that deception that's getting ready to go out. The trickery, the deceit people are going to fall for. That if it was possible, as we remember here, if it were possible to deceive the very elect, but it's impossible to deceive the Lord's men. And the elect have this 100% truth, this wisdom, this knowledge. And guess what? They are warning you of the things to come. Which we hope and pray that we're of that hopeful elect. Got a few more scriptures. Revelations 2:10 says, "Fear none of those things that shall suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast you into prison, that ye may be tried." This will be another obstacle in the way. You'll be faced with, jail, prison time, and also death. This is where you're going to have a lot of these Israelites, unfaithful Israelites, buckle and bend that knee. This shall cast him into prison, that you may be tried, shall have tribulation 10 days, going to serve a period of time. Be thou faithful unto death, and I'll give thee a crown of life. So the reward, a prize went for us at the end of that finish line. Revelation 3:10. And it says, "Because I was kept with my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation," which is ultimately going to be when the end is presented in front of us. "Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." So everyone's to be faced with that choice. And only one answer, one choice is correct. And you're going to have a lot of people think they chose so-called life in receiving this charagma, this MOTB, but in reality you chose death. And those that denounced this beast system, that denied receiving this charagma, chose life. Got a few more. 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, "The saints should get advantage of us, for we are ignorant of his devices." See what the NLT has to say, so that saint would not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. We ultimately know what this devil is playing at, using these YouTubers, streamers, these celebrities to push and promote their agenda. This beast system, which you're especially getting ready to see. Like I made that point earlier, these streamers are the so-called new celebrities. Everybody wants to be, a streamer nowadays. Everybody looks up to the Kai Cenats, the Aiden Rosses, and etc. Rakai, which is another bugged out Jake, wearing women clothing on stream. Just through. Ephesians 5:15-16. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. So we need to be wary, watchful, which circumspect goes into that. Being, I should get that. Wary and unwilling to take risks. So just being careful, vigilant, as you get in another scripture. You get another one going to be, harmless as doves, wise as serpents. So if you're paraphrasing. But redeem the time, because the days are evil. We're in the midst of these evil times. And you see the trickery, the deceit this devil's beginning to use. Because you don't get just 100 million plus subscribers getting hundreds of millions of views every video and not be, under control. Especially dealing with Kai Cenat, which you have a lot of these Jakes that look up to this guy. When he's clearly, took the bag, sold out. If I didn't make that point earlier, where people making videos of these, streamers and doing hand symbols and satanic, symbolism and all this type of stuff. It is clear. It's obvious of who they serve. But as Romans 16:18 says, "For they that are such serve not Lord Yahushua Mashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple." So you have a lot of deception be going out. This is why it's important to obtain this knowledge, this wisdom while you still can, because the Lord's getting ready to take it away. But that's the point right there to say, quick little MOTB update. So to make a lesson go into that video, dealing with these miracles on the left-hand side. We're just going to be through this, technology, dealing with your Neuralinks, the RFID SIP, as the promises that are being made of what this type of technology will be to do for you, And you have a lot of people being deceived and tempted into hopping on board and, going right along with it. They're going to be incentivizing these things. Just as you had back in 2020 dealing with the juice. But the point was made. Lord's love is edifying and goes out. Give all praise, all honor, and glory to Yahweh. Bashem, Al Shabbat, Shem, Kakadash, Shalom, Sinchon, Lord's will.